Yes, I'll tell you this much. It is damp here in the Lake District, and oh, a bit of light off in the background up there. Maybe you can see that just above them trees. Autumn has exploded here in the Lake District. Finally, maybe all that complaining has actually paid off. And that's why so many British people just moan all the time. Because eventually they get what they want. No, I'm just joking. I'm not really doing any autumn photography though today. I'm back out on the Wainwright adventures and I'm hiking up a fell called Harter Fell, which is this beast behind me. I have been up one fell called Harter Fell, but that was over near Haweswater Reservoir. Whereas today, I'm starting from Eskdale. But yeah, these conditions when it's damp like this, it's really misty, there's loads of low cloud, definitely my favourite. Look at the colours, it is just gorgeous. The next couple of weeks are surely going to promise some nice landscape photography conditions. So I mentioned a second ago, we've got a lot of mist, of low-lying cloud on the fells, which, I mean, look at it, I've just driven from over there at Hard Knot Pass. It could go either way. Either we're going to get up to Hart Fell and be stuck in a ball of cloud, or it'll start clearing, maybe even intermittently, and we get some really nice conditions. Fingers crossed it's the latter, but when it is like this, I always think it's worth the risk. Whoa! I nearly went then. Let's crack on! So it's gone so gloomy. You can probably even tell from this picture here. It's wonderful. Now I'm going to take a photograph looking back towards here, which looking back up towards Hard Knot, Bowfell, probably would be off there somewhere down that valley, which is kind of an extension of Eskdale, which is the valley that we're in now. And I just want to make the most of all these amazing clouds. So I'm going to get set up in a second, but I wanted to talk about today's video really, and this is a point that I want to make, that I probably ruminate quite a lot, but only because I think that it's really important, especially to beginner photographers out there. And it's about really increasing your chances of getting nice photographs. And it's as simple as this. Put yourself in locations like this. Now I know that's easier said than done for probably most people that are watching this. You know, I'm very fortunate, I live close to these sorts of locations. But what I'm saying is, as simple as it sounds, it's that effort that, in my opinion at least, this isn't a fact, this is just my opinion and what I've learned from my experience. The effort of driving, it's took me an hour and a half to get here, which isn't that bad, admittedly, but it's still effort nonetheless. But yeah, that effort to drive into places, effort going out on hikes like I'm doing, looking up a nice woodland for autumn and then making the effort to get there. Just by being there, you're increasing those chances of getting nice photographs. Probably way more than tenfold. And yeah, as simple as that sounds, it's something that I deliberately want to ruminate on this channel because it's so, so important. You know, if you're just going to, I don't know, your local park every time you go out with your camera and expecting to come back with amazing photographs, it's not to say your local park's not nice, you know. In certain conditions it could be absolutely incredible, best place that you could be with your camera. But more than likely, it's going to be very difficult to get good photographs in that location. This is something that I don't think is talked about enough. Probably because it's just so stupid, so simple. Takes somebody like me to say it. No, just make the effort. It's about being in the right places at the right times, you know. And once you start making that effort, you will start getting rewards with your photography 100%. And like I say, it's just what I've learned from my experience. I mean, it's quite obvious, isn't it? Put yourself in a nice spot. You're heightening your chances of getting a nice photograph, even if you're just taking images with a phone. Right, we've got a bit of rain now. Whoa, that is looking gloomy in that direction where the weather is coming in. And really beautiful. But I want to focus on this for now. I'm going to get myself set up and see if I can frame up some sort of composition. So I'm really happy with this. I said not long ago, just at the start of the video, that I probably won't be taking any autumnal photographs. I'm not here to, you know, photograph trees or anything. But looking at this on the back of the camera, I'd class this as an autumn photograph. So that is an absolute bonus. Now, what's happened here is I've put all the waterproofs on and the rain stopped. I could have predicted that, but it's worked out really well because the rain has come in from the west, from this direction, battered us. We've got the waterproofs on, but now it's over there. So it's just, obviously it was just a bit of a shower. And it's within that valley right off in the distance where I was just happening to photograph anyway. So I'm in the right place at the right time with a little bit of luck. So what are we at? Zoomed in around about 130mm with the 24-200 lens. And this is a classic example of where I am creating my box off in the distance, creating my crop, ultimately creating my photograph, obviously right off in the distance. Don't need to shoot this wide. And my idea was here, right? I was walking down this path and I was looking over my shoulder and I just couldn't take my eyes off all these gorgeous autumnal trees down here in the foreground. And then they just so happened to have this sort of backdrop of Hard Knot and Bowfell and all that mood and drama, absolutely beautiful. So I'm trying to zoom in, and as you look at the video there, I'm literally going to have the bottom strip like there down at the bottom of the photograph with just all them autumnal trees. So I've not got the bottoms of the trees, just the tops, and it's just a patchwork of colours. It's wonderful. And then we've got a few nice crags on the right hand side, and then over on the left hand side of the frame, it's just all that like gloomy goodness, I'm going to call it, you know. I mean, you might look at that and think, look at that sky, it probably looks rubbish on the video, but trust me, there is so much detail up there. You know, low clouds, medium clouds and high clouds, all sort of merging together and creating all this wonderful detail. And I've said this before, it's like these, it's beautiful. It's like these different shades, these different tones that go from white to black. We've got brighter patches of the sky. I could stand here and talk about it for hours. It's just clouds at the end of the day, but I know that that's going to look really nice in the photograph, especially when it's going to be complemented by all these dark crags on the right hand side. We are f11 on 1/5 of a second, and there's the rain again. Living the dream. So, inevitably, oh, there's some herdwicks off in the background. Inevitably, we're in the clouds. But I'm going to keep going. And what my advice here would be, That was a bit like Yoda, wasn't it? What my advice here would be is to try your best to adapt to the conditions. All right, we're on a hike, you know. I've come here to get some beautiful views back over towards Scarfell Pike and the like, but this is what I've been given, so I can't do anything about it. So I may as well try my best to still try and think about photography and enjoy the hike, even though I can't really see much. But I've stopped here. I'm not going to take a shot, but I hope you can see in the background there, there's just one lone tree on his own, and it looks nice, you know. It wouldn't be the greatest shot in the world, it's probably why I'm not taking it, but they're the sorts of things that I'm going to be looking out for, you know. Maybe a lone tree looking quite mysterious in the fog and stuff like that. Yeah, definitely a lone tree. But yeah, can't really think of anything else, to be honest. I mean, it's not looking great, is it? As well, there's not much wind, which is generally a good thing, but it means that it's unlikely that this is going to pass. But we'll see. Rightio. I reckon we're still about another 25 minutes from the top of Hartfell. And this is the first time I'm going to do this on the Wainwrights. But I think I'm going to turn around. And not even for safety purposes necessarily, because I don't feel unsafe or anything. I just think it's pointless because I can't see anything. Not even, you know, photography aside, just to enjoy the hike. I've wanted to go up Hartfell for years. I just think, yeah, it's a bit pointless. And secondly, I feel like it'd be a right shame because, you know, I know this area quite well and I know the views from the top are going to be gorgeous. Not today. And here's another thing, right? If you watch me regularly, you'll know this, but in my last video, if you want to watch it, I'll link it up in the corner. But just briefly, at the end of that video, I said that we all have rubbish days when we're creators, but anybody really, you know, it applies to anyone. It just happens. Today is a perfect example of that. You know, so if I was not to release this video, I'm still going to release it. I have to. But if I didn't release it, I'd be an absolute fraud because I want to show you. Look, it just happens. It happens. And today, you know, hasn't got anything to do with me. I feel great today. I'm mad to take photographs. It's just the weather, the conditions. The higher I'm going to get, you know, we're not talking the Alps here, but I've still got probably another 200 or 300, no, probably about 150, 200 meters to go up. The further I go up, the more I'm just going to get into this pea soup, and I'm going to see less and less. So I'm calling it. There's no point. So partly I apologize because this is going to be a really short video, but I feel really positive about it because, as I said, I like to show you. It just happens, and don't let it get you down. I'll have a class time when I go out with my camera the next time, and I'd like to think I'll maybe come back here in the winter when we have snow in the fells. Quite an easy hike, but stunning views. So thank you so much for your support if you've stuck with this rubbish video till the end. If you could give it a thumbs up, if you feel it's worthy, it always helps me out. And of course, I thank you so much for your support. And I'll see you on the next adventure, which hopefully will be a little bit better. Out.